Hello again, this is Peter Lavelle for the Duran. Fake news is back in the news, and guess who is talking about fake news? Well, fake news itself, CNN. Chris Cuomo over there, the cheerleader for fake news of the corporate media, he said on his radio program, well, give it a listen first, and then let's talk about it.
I see being called fake news as the equivalent of the N-word for journalists, the equivalent of calling an Italian any of the ugly words that people have for that ethnicity. That's what fake news is to a journalist. It is an ugly insult, and you better be right if you're going to charge a journalist with lying on purpose. And the president was not right here, and he's not been right in the past.
Okay, equating calling a person of color the N-word and President Trump calling CNN fake news, or any journalist fake news, their equivalent. This is completely outrageous. What Chris Cuomo is, and people at CNN and MSNBC and all of the other major networks, bar Fox, is they're prostitutes. So they're prostitutes, okay, that practice fake news. Now, I don't know if you guys ever saw, I've already had an encounter with Chris Cuomo on his own program, and the subject was Ukraine and MH17. He didn't come out very well. As a matter of fact, I bitch slapped him. Have a look.
Why hasn't Russia, why hasn't Vladimir Putin come forward and condemned how this crime scene has been handled?
Well, I think the answer to that is very, very straightforward and simple. Ukraine is not in Russia. Vladimir Putin doesn't control a crime scene in a foreign country. I think it's quite ludicrous for you to ask that question. He's come out and demanded a complete investigation. As a matter of fact, on Monday of this week, Russia gave its assessment of the reconnaissance and surveillance of satellites and what was happening in the crime scene. We don't have that coming out of Washington. So I think that's what you should be asking, is that why is the State Department relying upon Twitter and YouTube and other social media for its case when Russia has already given its, or at least part of the forensic evidence that is necessary to solve this horrific crime?
Maybe you haven't been following it, but the U.S. is actually coming out with a lot of its own intelligence that connects what happened to MH17 to the acts of Russian militants and perhaps to the involvement of Russia in either training, equipping, or maybe even assisting in this horrible operation of bringing down this plane.
What forensic evidence are you talking about? What forensic evidence are you referring to? Twitter?
They are releasing intelligence information about the trajectory. No, not Twitter. I do not think, Peter, this is something to be flip about. 298 people lost their lives. Let's not play politics.
I think the U.S. State Department has been very flippant about this. Very flippant about it. Where's the evidence?
Listen,
that's what we need to solve this crime. It's not coming out of Washington. Even intelligence officials are saying they don't know who did this. They don't know where it came from. The United States spends $100 billion a year on global intelligence, and they can't find out. This is extraordinary. There are NATO ships in the Black Sea watching Ukraine like a hawk. Where is their data? Please show us the data. Then we can move forward, and maybe this can help resolve the crisis in Ukraine.
All right, Peter. Take a breath, okay, because this isn't a debate. It's easy to bandy about points and confuse facts. There's no need for that, because I'm not here to debate with you who did this, okay?
I really wish you would stick with facts.
You want to play those talking points. I asked you a simple question. Peter, everything I'm saying to you, there's U.S. intelligence. Peter, why are you afraid to hear what I'm saying? I'm not here to fight with you, okay?
I'm not afraid.
I just left the crime scene. The last thing I want to see is more violence of any kind, verbal or otherwise.
All of its data from satellites and compare it to the Russian case. They are doing exactly that. See where they match, where they don't match. No, they're not. I don't know what you're living in, a parallel universe.
Okay, so take it with a grain of salt when people like Chris Cuomo talk about fake news, because Chris Cuomo is the source of fake news. Hey, if you like these videos, click on the button that says subscribe. Also, follow the link in the description to join our mug club.